無常人心未妙百千万苦難遭遇我今見聞徳十字願下如来真実義 I wish to understand the real meaning of the Rāhula Sutta, Maha Rāhulovada Suttam. Thus have I heard. At one time the Glorious One was dwelling near Savatthi, at Anathapindika's grounds in Jeta's wood. Then the Glorious One, having dressed in the morning time, and picked up his bowl and robe, entered Savatthi for alms. Venerable Rāhula also, having dressed in the morning time, and picked up his bowl and robe, followed along close behind the Glorious One. Then the Glorious One, looking back, addressed Venerable Rāhula, saying, "Whatever physicality there is, Rāhula, past, yet to come, or now happening, inside or outside, gross or subtle, base or excellent, far or near, all physicality that there is, it is not mine. It is not that I am this. This is not myself. It is to be seen like this, with true wisdom, as happening. Only physicality, Glorious One, only physicality, one going well. Physicality, Rāhula, and feelings, Rāhula, and perceptions, Rāhula, and conditioned actions, Rāhula, and consciousness, Rāhula. So those five, physicality, feelings, perceptions, conditioned actions, and consciousness, are the five Skandhas, the five supposed constituents of a human being. So in Sanskrit or in Pali, Rupam, physicality, Vedana, feelings, Sanna, perceptions, Sankhara, conditioned actions, and Vijnanam, consciousness. So, in following the Buddha, Rāhula has left his family, left his mother, and he's following the Buddha, his father, in the direction of nirvana. Nirvana means letting go of everything. That's the direction they're going in. So, in that direction, Rāhula is following the Buddha, following close behind the Buddha, and desiring to point Rāhula in the right direction. The Buddha looks back and tells him, whatever physicality there is, Rupa, the first of the five Skandhas, whatever physicality there is, it is not mine. It is not that I am this. This is not myself. It is to be seen like this with true wisdom as happening. So, on the way to Nirvana, the Buddha said that there were 10 obstacles to overcome. And the first one, in Sanskrit, is Sat Kaya Drishti. Drishti means the view, Sat means existing, and Kaya means body. So Sat Kaya Drishti means the existing body. In other words, the view of it. So a Sanskrit phrase that ends in drishti can often be translated ism. So for example, ucheda drishti means nihilism, and so satkaya drishti is like a kind of existentialism, existent bodyism. So right away, what the Buddha is suggesting to Rāhula is the teaching of the middle way, in which happenings happen, in the middle way between existence and non-existence. So that the view which the middle way opposes is, for example, that here I am now, I'm existing, and what I fear is my non-existence, my death, in other words. That's how we that's the first obstacle, is to think that what's important is my existence, and if I believe my existence is important, then what I fear is my non-existence. But those two, existence and non-existence, are the two extreme views, and in the middle way between those, happenings are happening, and what's happening is what's important in the Buddha's teaching. So, physicality. First of all, in regard to physicality, the Buddha says, it is not mine. This physicality is not mine. It is not that I am this. This is not myself. It is to be seen like this with true wisdom as happening. So what we think of as the existing body is to be seen as something happening, not something that exists as my possession, or which later won't exist as my possession when I'm dead. That's the first obstacle to overcome, that seeing oneself as a self-existent thing. So the philosophy of the middle way is supreme, mujo jinshin, very profound, and bimyo, subtle. Yakusen man gonan sogu, hard to meet with in hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of eons. So it's not an easy teaching to understand, but actually it is the simple pathway to it is to realize physicality. This physicality is not mine. It's not that I am this. This is not myself. This is the starting point of penetrating the truth, the subtle and profound truth of the middle way. It is to be seen like this with true wisdom as happening. Ewam etam. Ewam like this, etam it. Yata bhutam. Yata bhutam. As happening. Samapanaya, with true wisdom, databan, is to be seen. So the key phrase in everything the Buddha says here is yata bhutam. Bhutam is the past participle of verbal root bhu, usually understood to mean to be. So people translate yata bhuta as it is. It is to be seen like this, as it is. But that's the whole point, is not to see physicality as something that is. It's to see it as happening. We're stuck. We've been stuck for more than 100 years since Nietzsche said God is dead. We're stuck in an existential rut. We're suffering from existential angst. Because if you believe the important thing is what exists, my existence is important, then how can you not be anxious about not existing? What the Buddha is saying is, what's important is what happens. And what happens is beyond existence and non-existence. So then, there are 5 skandhas, and Rāhula, so physicality, rupam, is the first of the 5, and so Rāhula asks the Buddha, only physicality, glorious one, only physicality, one going well, and the Buddha answers, physicality, Rāhula, and feelings, Rāhula, vedana, and perceptions, Rāhula, sana, and conditioned actions, Rāhula, sankhara, and consciousness, Rāhula, vijnana. So those five, they're regarded, so skandha literally means shoulder, and by extension a part of. So the five skandhas are five parts, five constituent parts that make up human existence. That's how they're conventionally conceived. But what the Buddha is saying is each one of the five is to be seen not as an existing thing, not mine. It's not, I'm not here to identify with the five skandhas. The five skandhas are not myself. They're not a self-existing self, but rather each one is to be seen like this, with true wisdom, as happening, yata bhutam, as happening.